Hello everyone, this is my review for WWE Monday Night Raw on November 10th, 2014, and, for the most part, this Raw was focused around the Team Cena versus Team Authority storyline, and I'll get into that a little bit later on. I'll talk a little bit about, they basically did do some more focal point on other Survivor Series matches. I really like the promo between, their little setup promos for Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose. I like how they're portraying Wyatt as this great fixer of people type character. He believes he can go out there and fix Dean Ambrose for what he is, because of what he had done with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, who are kind of doing their own things right now. Eric Rowan's new character is kind of iffy at the moment. We'll see where they go, but I'm not kind of liking where they're going with him at this point in time. Obviously, I've always really liked where they've gone with Bray Wyatt and him being on his own in this case, and trying to go into full recruitment mode for him in his feuds is kind of a nice way of going. And we'll see if they're going to actually lead this into maybe a Dean Ambrose joining them, or if it's just going to be a feud between the two of them, and see how they just decide to end it from then on out. Really, the only other feud they mainly focused on was the whole AJ and Nikki Bella feud, which is tying in with the whole Brie and Nikki feud to go along with it, and they just did another little subtle bit to it this week with having Brie go up against AJ, and then Nikki was able to get the advantage because of the match just ending in that case. So nothing really substantial there, which isn't really a bad thing in this case. They're not trying to just go overboard with everything with the entire thing there. So the feud itself is still kind of nothing, but it is what it is. And it looks like they're also doing the whole preacher type characters with right now Xavier Woods, and you saw in another vignette tonight with Kofi Kingston in there, and most would probably think this is going to lead with having Big E in there, and then they're going to do whatever they're going to be doing there. They kind of got them off as like these preacher type characters for the time being, so we'll see where they actually go along with it here in the future, and what they actually end up becoming when they actually show up on TV. And like I said, that pretty much ends where they're focusing on single type match feuds going into the pay-per-view, and this is where they go into the whole Team Authority and Team Cena match and storyline. Obviously, you had Cena and Dolph Ziggler, and you have Kane, Seth Rollins, and Mark Henry now, which was kind of just random. He just came out there to join the team to begin with, and the one good thing about Survivor Series the classic Survivor Series matches, is the way they can intertwine the feuds into being one thing, or come in for at least one common goal. So as soon as you saw Big Show not Big Show, but as soon as you saw Mark Henry there, you assume Big Show was going to become part of this in some way, shape, or form. And that is a good way of at least interjecting him into the matches, to have his feud in there to begin with. The way he fully got interjected in there tonight really it makes sense for him to do a run-in and say he's going to be a part of Team Cena, but I think they did a better job with the fact that they had a way of bringing Sheamus into Team Cena, with Team Authority bringing in Rusev in there. I liked that aspect. It makes a little bit more sense for Sheamus to want to get even more payback at this time against Rusev, especially since the Authority actually cost him the match for the United States title. So in storyline, it makes a lot of sense for him to actually join Team Cena to try to get a little bit of payback going into the actual going into the match itself. Throughout the show, obviously, it looked like they were going to have Jack Swagger be a part of Team Cena. That was kind of just a little teaser and also a way of building the aspects of anybody who's going to try to join Team Cena is just going to get beaten down. And that was what they used him for in this case, you know, to try to deter people. Obviously, they didn't decide to actually make that deter anybody. You know, with the Big Show and Sheamus joining in the same night. But, you know, it kind of, that was what they were going for there, and it kind of works for that sense that anybody who's going to go up against the Authority is going to get some kind of repercussions of some kind. And also the, you know, semi-heel turn and then right back to face turn for Ryback throughout the show, where it looked like he was going to join Team Authority, and then throughout the night you had the little promos from Kane, Seth Rollins, and Mark Henry in there, and you just saw the tensions kind of building, you know, with Kane not necessarily being fully on with Ryback being on the team, and then costing him the match with Cena, which eventually caused him to just turn right back against the Authority and decide not to be on the team to begin with. With that said, I feel like they did a pretty good job setting up the Survivor Series tag match, and you know, we'll see who they decide to put in for the final people as for both of those teams, either next week or will just be on the pay-per-view. However they decide to finish off those storylines going into next week, we'll just see how they have to go about that. But this week I felt like they did a very good job. You know, they made it very subtle with the whole AJ, Nikki, and Brie Bella type with that storyline. Obviously, actually making the match with Bray Wyatt and Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose going in there, and the continuation of their feud just through the vignettes throughout the night. Also, you know, continuation of seeing who's going to be the people going after the tag team titles with Mizdow and The Miz, and you have Los Matadores, who it seem like they're going to put them in there, and they'll probably interject the Usos in there in some way, shape, or form too. So we'll see how they actually finish off with their go-home show for next week. And overall, this week I felt like they did a decent job. Not a great job, but they definitely it definitely wasn't a bad job of setting up these storylines going into the Survivor Series pay-per-view. And that's my review this week for WWE Raw, and I thank you guys for watching.